Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we will be talking about these new polls from Emerson College. They polled a total of 5 Senate races today, and they released the results, and they are really interesting. They show the Democratic candidates in these Senate races, some incumbent, some not, across these battleground states on the presidential level. Democrats with strong leads in all of them, absolutely boosting their chances to possibly retaining control of the Senate, as well as boosting Kamala Harris's chances in the state. We might see a sort of reverse coattails effect here, where in some of these states, especially with the bigger Democratic leads, that could actually carry Kamala Harris over the top as well. So Emerson College is a B+ pollster, not the best of the best, but in, sort of near or in that top tier. So in Wisconsin, they show the incumbent Democrat Tammy Baldwin up by 3% over the Republican opponent. Arizona, a stunning 6% lead by Ruben Gallego, the Democratic nominee against Kari Lake. Nevada, a shocking 7% lead for Jackie Rosen. This race is moving farther and farther away from the Republicans here. This one is, absolutely going to the Democrats. All the polls look like this, if not a higher margin for Jackie Rosen. She's the incumbent. Gallego is not, by the way. Pennsylvania, Bob Casey, very critical, important state on the presidential level, and looking extremely close on the presidential level as well. But Bob Casey leads by 5% there, a likely margin. And in Michigan, a non-incumbent, Alyssa Slotkin, trying to win her first term, she's winning by a very healthy margin of 5%. That race is also moving farther and farther away from the Republicans lately. So let's just map that real quick. Let's just that's only 6 states. 1, 2, 3. That's 5 states. They polled 5 states total. They're the 5 most battleground, critical states in the presidential election, which is why they even polled these states initially. But Pennsylvania, Michigan, likely. Wisconsin is lean. Arizona's likely. Arizona is likely. Yeah, Arizona's likely, a 6% margin. And then Nevada's likely as well. So let's just assume Texas, Florida go Republican. Nebraska goes Republican. That leaves us with 2 uncalled Senate races, but Democrats are at 48 seats. Based off this polling, Democrats have an awful map in 2024. What that means is that in the vast majority of the battleground races in 2024 are already Democratic seats. So what that means is that Republicans have much more opportunities to flip seats, make gains in the Senate than Republicans do, and that's just the map. Of course, not all 100 Senate races are up for election. Democrats just got unlucky with the map of which states have Senate races this year. So, they can't change that, but they're doing their best here, clearly, and, they're at a minimum of 48 seats, which is absolutely, excellent for them. That's exactly what they want to see. 48 seats is when you have this many battleground states, like a total of, let's see, you've got a total of 10 relatively close battleground states. Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them are already, deep into the Democratic column, while only 3 of them are deep into the Republican column. So on that front, Democrats are outpacing Republicans. 48 when you've got 10 battleground seats and 7 of them are held by Democrats. Having 5, being extremely favored to win in 5 of them, that's good. Those are the numbers that you want to see. Now, you've got Montana and Ohio. Now, these Republicans could very well win with. Now, I do have Kamala Harris winning the presidency, so Republicans do have to get at least 51 seats for a majority. But you're looking at Montana, you're looking at Ohio, 2 very Republican states, but they actually both have Democratic incumbent senators. Now, Ohio, I could see Sherrod Brown hanging on. This is an increasingly close race. Republicans are upping their game here in terms of money, spending and advertising. They're really putting a lot of money into this race. But still, I do have Sherrod Brown narrowly hanging on there. But Montana is tough. Montana voted for Donald Trump by 16 points in 2020. It'll probably be a similar margin in 2024. So, on that same ballot, a Democrat winning in the Senate election is just very, very, very hard to see. I think Republicans are heavily favored in the Montana race, and that already gives them 51 seats. Now, you might be wondering, Democrats have 51 seats in the Senate. After 2022, they gained the seat in Pennsylvania. It gave them 51 seats. So if Republicans are only flipping Montana, how are they at 51? Wouldn't they have to flip too? Well, you might not notice it, but there are 2 states flipped, and the other one we didn't even talk about for a second, that being West Virginia. This is another reason why the map is so difficult for the Democrats this year, because in West Virginia, you had Joe Manchin. He won in 2018 by a very small margin. Now in 2024, Joe Manchin is not running again. He wouldn't even have won if he had run again. So this race is gone for Democrats in West Virginia, meaning that is an automatic flip in West Virginia. So that means that Republicans, if they win Nebraska, Texas, and Florida, which are holds, they're at a minimum of 50 seats. That means they only have to flip 1 Democratic seat beyond West Virginia, which is pretty easy to do when you've got Montana and Ohio, 2 deeply Republican states. But at least for Democrats, they don't have to spend too much time defending their other seats. Democrats can actually invest and defend Ohio, absolutely. I mean, I'm sure they're going to try to defend Montana, but they're also going to use this money to make inroads in Republican states. Texas and Florida specifically, we're waiting on if they're going to see in Nebraska. There's an independent candidate there who looks competitive and is endorsed by the state Democratic Party, but not the National Democratic Party yet. So we'll see what happens there. But if you've got this money, you don't have to spend time, resources, money if you're the DCCC, the Democratic Congressional something conference. You don't have to spend too much money, time, resources now in Nevada, in Arizona, in Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. Traditionally very close battleground states, even in Senate races, but for whatever reason, they got, just spectacular candidates in these races. It's not just Emerson. They're looking good across the board in all these races. The closest looks like it's going to be Pennsylvania, and still in this poll, overall, when you look at all the polls, looks like Pennsylvania will be the closest. But still, you've got Republicans never leading a single poll, some of them tied, but still Republicans never leading. And, this Emerson poll, which is a pretty accurate pollster, has them up by 5. And that, out of these, is the closest race. So, that's important. The fact that they don't have to spend too much time and attention in Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Nevada is critical, because then you could put that time, those resources, all that money, you can put it elsewhere. You can defend Ohio. You can maybe make a play at defending Montana. I don't think they should, personally. I think that one's gone for Dems. And then you can make, even more importantly, again, inroads in Texas and Florida. These would be flips. If you win Texas, that's 50 seats. That's majority if you win the presidency. Of course, the VP casts the tie-breaking vote. Or flip Florida. Or both. That's 51 seats. Or Montana, 52 seats. Or Nebraska, 53 seats. So that's important. The fact that you've got Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Nevada were in the same poll. They were extremely close. These Democrats are way outperforming Kamala Harris. These races aren't even in national attention, and for good reason. The only states we really have to focus on are Montana, Ohio, and you could argue Florida and Texas. They're not extremely close right now, but they're probably closer, if not just as close, as these other battleground states, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Nevada, which is insane to say because in the 2020 election, a state like Texas voted for Trump by 5.6, while Arizona went to Biden by 0.3, a razor-thin margin, Nevada by 2.4, and Pennsylvania by 1.2, Michigan by 2.8, Wisconsin by 0.6, and then Florida was Trump plus 3.4. So to see all these other Democratic seats so much, more solidly for the Democrats than Texas and Florida are for the Republicans, that's huge. Get that in your mind. Texas and Florida are closer than Wisconsin and Michigan and Pennsylvania and Arizona and Nevada in these critical Senate races. So very important races that are going on These Emerson polls prove just that. I mean, and again, it's not just Emerson. You've got a wide range of polls. Pennsylvania, again, looks the closest. But again, latest poll, Casey plus 4. That's the incumbent Democrat. Before that, Mayor's College, A+ pollster here, Casey plus 5, Casey plus 6. Washington Post says it's even. And then when you include the third-party candidates, Casey takes a lead by 1. So, I mean, we can trust the one poll because it's not a head-to-head. There are third-party candidates. Quinnipiac, Casey plus 9. New York Times, Siena College, Casey plus 9. So, again, that's the closest race. And Wisconsin looks very good. I mean, that one also looks about as competitive as Pennsylvania. But, I mean, Arizona locked down for Dems. Nevada is close to safe Dem. Michigan looks somewhat close. Still a locked down race for Dems. Republicans did not recruit spectacular candidates. I mean, they never do. And these aren't as bad as 2022, but they're not good either. I mean, you've got Eric Hovde, another business owner. Business owners don't do good in state races. They really don't. Like generic business owners, they just don't. So David McCormick is a multi-millionaire. They don't do well. Eric Hovde is a multi-millionaire. He's a Republican candidate in Wisconsin. You've got Kari Lake in Arizona. Now, she's as bad as 2022, obviously, because she was a losing candidate in 2022. Sam Brown is the Republican nominee in Nevada. He's nothing special. Mike Rogers, just out of touch, I feel, with many voters. He's the nominee in Michigan for the Republicans. So, interesting polls. Shocking. Thank you all for watching this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe down below. We're trying to get to 20,000 subscribers as soon as possible. And I'll see you all next time.